Welcome to the Scene Snobs Podcast.
I always forget to unmute the mic. Welcome, everybody, to the Scene Snobs Reviews. This is my review of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I got out of theaters this morning, and I had to process what I saw, and I'm here to talk about it. So basically, here's how it's going to go. I'm going to talk about the movie and how I felt about it without spoiling anything, and then I'm going to give my rating. And then I'm going to talk about some of the more spoiler side of stuff. So after my rating, if you haven't seen it yet and you don't want to hear it, maybe get out of here. But please give us a like. Please give us subscribe because we are really trying to build the channel and we appreciate it. And we have good stuff coming out all the time, so go check us out. But yeah, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. This has been a long-awaited project, especially after Spider-Man No Way Home came out. I was very excited for it. And there's a lot to it that I was just kind of at that point wondering, what's this going to be? Where is this going to go? Kind of like, what is this going to be sort of on par with No Way Home since it's going to be taking place in the multiverse? Everything really got jumbled with Marvel over the 2020, 2021 with COVID and everything and theaters closing. A lot of shows were supposed to come out before these movies. These movies were supposed to come out before some of the shows. All of it was really crazy. I've heard rumors about WandaVision was supposed to come out after this, but then they had to rework it to come out before, and I'm glad they did because I really think it built something and added something to this movie even more. Originally, the Scott Derrickson, who helmed the first movie, wrote and directed the first movie, Doctor Strange in 2016, was supposed to do this, but due to creative differences, he had to leave, and they went into more so with like a horror element. And they brought on the great Sam Raimi. As you know, if you're a horror fan, Sam Raimi is behind the camera for some of our most favorite horror movies of all time. And he is the inspiration for many, many more. And some of our greatest films of all time. Like I love For the Love of the Game. I love For A Simple Plan. The Dark Man. Everything. Like he just does a great job all around. I was really excited when he got brought on to direct this movie. But again, going in, I got caught up in the speculation. Everybody's speculation about like what's going to be in this one movie, and what's we got 3 Spider-Man before, and we all knew them, with Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, and they all teamed up, and it was amazing. Well, what's going to happen here? I will say we did not get what a lot of the speculating was going on, and I have to say, not getting into anything. I'm just going to say the word cameos. The cameos that were in the movie were fine. I enjoyed them, but they did not make this movie for me. I really enjoyed this movie. Now, the title seems to be a little misleading, and actually, it's kind of funny because my buddy AJ's here. How you doing, AJ? Thanks for joining in. And you do say not enough multiverse for me. I thought that at first, and when I got out, I thought about it. I was like, I think it was the right amount of multiverse for me because when it said in the multiverse of madness, I didn't put the emphasis on the madness part originally, like going into this movie. I put it into the multiverse. Like, this is really going to take place in the multiverse, things like that. I really liked what they did here. And I think that they will continue through the multiverse. They will do things. We may get more in the future, especially with how they kind of left things. But I'm sort of okay with them leaving the multiverse alone in this. I think that what we wanted out of the multiverse is probably more so going to be seen in the Ant-Man movie. And that's a little more interesting to me. I think they should jump into that a little bit more. But I will say this movie was not what I was expecting. Sam Raimi's fingerprints are all over this. There's even like little like haunting things, like certain movements, certain use of mirrors, lights, stuff like that. That was very reminiscent of the Evil Dead movies and just how ingenious he did those movies. And I really enjoyed them and loved them. All those elements. He knows his horror, and it's just a fantastic genre for him. But at the heart of this, like this was more so Wanda's, a story. If not more so, then just as much as Doctor Strange. And I really appreciated that. Like this was a story continued on from WandaVision, very much so. And I love that about this. And I love that in some ways, she she was kind of the puppeteer of this whole movie, and kind of what was unfolding. And again, I don't want to spoil anything for you. This is going to be the non-spoiler part. But I did want to say, like, the fight scenes were really well done, really choreographed well. The visual effects in this movie were just stunning and beautiful. And, there is a scene, and again, I'm not going to let on too much, but like they are traveling through different multiverses. And I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed it. It was almost like just sort of a runaway train through a multiverse, like where we get to see glimpses of things. I was like, that's pretty cool. And it kind of opened it up a little bit. But, I want to say that for me, ultimately, I'm glad that this movie did stay grounded for the most part. It did have a focus on these characters. Even when they're at Cumberbatch and you have all of the sorcerers there, it still feels like it's grounded within the main characters that we're in. Even the cameos that showed up and stuff like that, the focus was never really pulled away, and it was put on what it was supposed to be. And I appreciated that about this. And the fights made sense. The reasoning for the villains and the heroes both made sense. Everyone had a chance to shine. I loved it. I loved it all the way through. Now, it is not a perfect movie. If you're going in there and you're expecting all of your wildest fantasies about what you've dreamt up to come true, that ain't going to happen. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's not going to happen. And I'm glad it didn't, because I think looking at it now, it would have taken away from a great story that I saw. And I don't want that to happen ever. So I walked out of there fulfilled. I didn't feel like it was too long. I didn't feel like it was too short. It all just felt like right. It kind of felt in place. And I really like this movie. It's not the greatest Marvel movie on my ranking. It's not ranked number one. It's not on the level of Endgame. It's not on the level of Infinity War, the Avengers, things like that. But it is right up there with a great one-shot type of story. And I appreciated that they did that they gave us that, and that this is a true Doctor Strange sequel, and that Doctor Strange is the ultimate sorcerer within the realm, and he is an important figure even throughout the multiverse. So with that being said, my rating for this, I usually do 1 to 5. I'm going to do 1 to 10 at this point, and I'm going to give this 8.9 out of 10. 8.9 out of 10. It's a great movie. There are some things I saw that maybe didn't need to stay in the edit and maybe kind of took away from some, but they were just glimpses. They were like small little things, nothing major. The story still made sense. A lot of things I hear people complaining about, I really enjoyed. One of the things that kind of took away from me was the cameos, which is odd in that, one set of cameos. There's another cameo we'll talk about at a different point that I'm really excited for, and I can't wait to see more from it. But I would love to hear what you guys think. So make sure in the comments you guys let me know that we are how you feel, what you think of it, stuff like that. Make sure you give a like and subscribe. But as you know, that's my rating, 8.9 out of 10. And before we get started, let me put this up here so you guys all know, if you're coming into this at a later time, we're getting into spoiler territory. That is right. We're going to talk some spoilers now. My buddy AJ's here. If anybody else is watching, please feel free to comment. I will bring you up. We can talk about it. But beforehand, like I said, there were cameos in it. And 3, 2, 1, Spoilerville. I loved seeing John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic. I'm going to start that right out of the gate there. I thought it was cool. He looks cool. They name dropped his wife and his kids. Having Patrick Stewart in there as Charles Xavier was pretty awesome. I really enjoyed that. But I don't know that I wasn't as excited when I saw it. I was like, all right, this is cool. I was more excited when he gets into her mind and he's kind of walking around. I was like, all right, this is Charles Xavier in action. But I was glad that he was there overall. It was cool to see Anson Mount as Black Bolt in full costume. I liked Haley Atwell, and I liked not Haley Atwell, Captain Carter. Well, Haley Atwell plays Captain. I'm trying to use their names, but I liked that everybody was there and that they were fighting. But man, was it crazy to see? And here it is, everybody get killed. I wasn't sure if I wanted to say that out loud, but so I was kind of holding back, but. It was kind of weird. It was odd, and like Mordo's the only one who didn't. So like, what's going to happen there? Because Mordo still seems like he has a few issues, even with that with Strange all over. So it's definitely interesting. That whole thing played out really well. I liked everything about it, except like where the cameos were. Like that's probably the least liked because I felt like I don't know. It felt a little out of place for me. I liked seeing them, enjoyed it, but I was like, all the action is happening somewhere else. This is something that seems like it was filler. Again, the Patrick Stewart part wasn't. Patrick Stewart part I kind of got into her mind trying to free her variant and such. So that was interesting to me. The cameo I'm really excited for was Charlize Theron showing up at the end playing Clea. And I'd really like to see more there. And I think it opened up a lot because there was a lot of heartbreak with the Christine Palmer angle, and that they can never end up together in any multiversal dimension. But I like that Clea showed up, and it's like, okay, we got a little bit for Strange. Here's my biggest problem with the movie, and I don't want to give it up, but my biggest problem with the movie is it ends so abruptly. He was walking in the street. And then he gets sick, and then you see the third eye show up, and like he's screaming in pain, and the third eye shows up, and it ends. Now, I don't mind that it ended like that, but then you have the mid-credit scene. It's so weird, and it's kind of weird. It's a weird parallel to what we saw with Moon Knight, which a little bit of a spoiler for Moon Knight here if you haven't watched it. So maybe check out if that's the case. But well, actually, I'm not gonna tell you what happens, but. The ending wasn't great, and it seems like it was very abrupt and very rushed for Moon Knight. And then you get the mid-credit scene, and it kind of helps. It helps the poor ending because it was such a great mid-credit scene. Whereas this seemed like it could have been a really good ending and leave it open and see where it goes down the line. And then you get the mid-credit scene, and it sort of didn't make sense. It sort of drew away from it, but I still like the mid-credit scene because you get Clea in it. I almost wish that they didn't do the ending, so the mid-credit scene would have been fine, and maybe just leave the eye still showing up. Maybe he doesn't get hurt or he's not sick or something, but she's like, "Do you need help?" And then the eye shows up, and then that might lead into something. I don't know. I just that's kind of how I felt about it. The end credit scene was, it's Bruce Campbell. It's always a lot of fun when Bruce Campbell shows up, and he's in the MCU now, so that's great. So yeah, overall. I really, really like this movie. Let me see what the comments are saying, see what people are thinking. All right, AJ, I'm getting to you. Here we go. So we all saw No Way Home, but no mention at all. Well, no, that's not true. They did. When they're talking at the table, they mentioned Spider-Man and, how they have some idea of the multiverse because he had to help Spider-Man. Other than that, I guess not too much of a mention. Here we go. Can we petition Elizabeth Olsen for an Oscar? What a performance. She was fantastic. They both did such amazing jobs, especially considering they all had to play multiple. Like Strange had to play 6 characters, I think, if you count Zombie Strange, which is technically just 2 of the other characters. But yeah, they all did. They did such great. That's fair. Thank you, sir. It's definitely up there. Like even the first one for me is like maybe if I rated it out of 10, I'd put it at a 7 out of 10. I really liked it. I liked that movie a lot. But overall, I'd probably put it at a 7 out of 10. This one was way better, and it's going to have a lot more rewatchability for me. The Illuminati fight scene with Wanda was nothing short of epic. See, that's where I think you and I differ a little bit. I didn't enjoy it. In fact, like if you're taking any Illuminati characters fight during that, I liked it. It's not bad. I don't think it's bad. But like, if you're taking any Illuminati's fight, any of the Illuminati who fought her, I like Patrick Stewart's probably the most. It was cool seeing Captain Carter and Captain Marvel in there fight it up a little bit, but I don't think it did him justice because I feel like you're not going to end Captain America that way. You're not going to end Captain Marvel, Brie Larson, that way. So why would they end up that way? I know she's powerful, but like, I just don't think, if you wouldn't do it for them, I don't think that their counterparts would go out like that. So it kind of, and you know, Mr. Fantastic really just unraveled and dead, and then Black Bolt was kind of a cool death. I mean, they were both all cool deaths. I can't take that away. I mean, Sam Raimi makes some cool deaths, but overall, like, it just seemed really interesting. But I didn't love that fight scene. It kind of took away from me. I was actually enjoying the Mordo and Doctor Strange fight, to tell you the truth. House of Harkness becomes a huge show now. I hope so. I'm excited for it. I can't wait to see it. But I mean, she can't be gone. She's gonna have to come back. But I am interested to see how they do that. Maybe the Illuminati were dreamwalking, since it's a thing now. I hope they don't. I mean, I don't care if they do it for Doctor Strange, but I hope that doesn't become like a across the board thing. It would be kind of cool to see Doctor Strange in another movie form an Illuminati, put together an Illuminati on Earth 616, which, by the way, it has been named 616, which is cool. So if you know multiversal talk in comic books, it's the main universe. So, all right, yeah, guys. So I mean, I really enjoyed it. I really walked out of there. I'm like, this was a fun movie. This was a wild, like, horror type movie. One that I still think kids could go to see. Like, my kid can go see this and he can enjoy it. Not my 5-year-old, my 10-year-old, but overall, it was a good movie, a fun movie. Told a really good story. At times, it could be heartbreaking. It had all the right elements to make up a really good movie. So that is my review. Of course, 8.9 was my rating. If you follow me, you know that I am the Scene Snob. I'm one of the hosts of the Scene Snobs Podcast, which is live every Tuesday night and on all podcast platforms afterwards. So go check us out. We're building up our YouTube channel. So if you like this, please hit like on the video, hit subscribe, join in. We always have some fun videos coming out. Join us in the conversation. Follow us everywhere. If you go to thescenesnobs.com, we have all our links and more. So everything's on there. Guys, we're going to be doing some special episodes coming up. Right now, we're doing dissecting horror franchises on all of our episodes for this month, because we are official reps of Carolina Fear Fest. But next week, Friday the 13th, at this time, we will be in the middle of our 2-hour The Scene Snobs Podcast episode, where we are dissecting the Friday the 13th franchise. It's sponsored by Carolina Fear Fest. We're going to talk about the state of the con. We're going to have guests. We're going to have games. We're going to have more. It's going to be a great time. And it's going to be epic. We're going to have a great time. And I want you guys to join in and have a good time with us. So leave a comment below. Let me know what you thought of the movie. I really can't wait to hear it. Again, I'm Mick Manhattan, Scene Snob. Thank you guys so much. AJ, thank you so much for joining in with me tonight. I really appreciate that. And you can see more of our reviews on the YouTube channel. All right. Take care, everybody, and you have a great night. Thanks for watching and listening, everybody. I'm the Scene Snob, Mick Manhattan. You can check out the Scene Snobs Podcast live every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern on our YouTube channel, or all podcast platforms afterwards. Also on our YouTube channel, you can check out great shows like Real Combat, the ultimate debate show for movie lovers, mixed movie picks with new recommendations every week, Geek Fest live every Sunday night, and new movie reviews and news all the time. Like and subscribe, then hit the notification bell so you know when all of our new episodes drop. Thank you so much to all of our amazing Patreon supporters, with whom this would not be possible. They help keep the lights on and support us in such big ways. If you would like to become a supporter on our Patreon and take advantage of all the perks like monthly giveaways, early access, and so much more, head on over to the Scene Snobs Patreon page and just sign up on one of our 2 tiers. Join our awesome community of geeks, movie lovers, and so much more, and join up on our Discord. The Scene Snobs Discord is now live, and you can head over to thescenesnobs.com for links to there and more. The Scene Snobs merch store is now open with original fun designs that are available on all different types of merch and apparel. Check out thescenesnobsmerch.com. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe to all of our social media accounts like TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and so many more. We have fun updates, topics, we talk about collectibles, and so much more on there. It's a great time. You can find all of our links to everything on thescenesnobs.com or on our link tree, which are down in the descriptions below. Thanks again, everyone. Stay tuned and stay geeky.